the DreamHack Montreal side stream. Today I am joined by Hunter, and we are going to be watching EG versus Dark Zero Esports. How are you doing today, Hunter?
I'm doing great. Just woke up, having a good time. Got a great match ahead of us. Evil Geniuses versus Dark Zero, one of those classic matches. I mean, you really can't get older. Two of the most consistent rosters throughout the years, and two of the most absolutely just best teams when it comes to pure individual skill and talent all around.
Right, we saw both of these teams playing at the Raleigh Major. Dark Zero faltered a little bit versus fours, and EG got eliminated by Lestream, correct? Or no,
Giants.
by Giants.
Says
That's right.
yes,
I'm
because the
still
stream doesn't exist anymore.
sorry, it's early
Yeah.
in the morning. I'm still thinking, I'm
Yeah.
still thinking a few seasons behind here. But
Don't worry, I'm right there with you, bud.
EG has had a big roster move that's had a lot of people talking. That
Oh yeah.
is that is having Canadian leave, who's been pretty much the poster child of Evil Geniuses for the longest, and now they have Mo, who is one of the Challenger League players from Disrupt, who has been known by few, to be, and by many to be the prophet. Some would say he's just one of the best players in the game right now as an individual. So I didn't get to watch them play yesterday, but I know that they did win. So it's it's going to be interesting to see how their roster has changed, how the team dynamics have changed. I'm pretty sure that Geo now is the one doing the IGL stuff for EG.
Oh, that's
Canadian leaving
interesting.
as the IGL. Uh, Before now plays for Space Station. He's IGLing for them, which I also find to be curious, but we'll talk about that at another time. Right now, we have EG and Dark Zero in the lobby getting prepared for their match. And Dark Zero. When I say that they faltered versus fours, they definitely. I felt like they had that match in the bag. They were on 7-7 match point, and they just couldn't close out their attack on Clubhouse, which I found to be curious considering how good I like think that Dark Zero are. Hyper played fantastic during that tournament. He was one of the highest rated players. I think that in one of the matches or games that they lost, he had like 18 kills or something, like just something ridiculous. Always mint as
Sheesh.
the IGL, definitely making lots of good calls and putting his team in positions that he thinks that they can win. Um, Nyx is, one of their designated gunners going in with Hyper as in like their fragging roles. BC always great with grenades. We've always talked about that. Um, on EG's side, Necrox, very intelligent player, tried to coach for a little bit, came back into the roster as a player and has been, doing dynamically well ever since. NVK's always fragging. He does have his off games though, and that tends to put EG in a weird spot. But I think that now that Mo is on the roster, I think that there's going to be a little bit of pick up where NVK kind of leaves off, because I think that he needed help in certain scenarios, and nobody on EG was really in a position to help, given that a lot of their strategies revolve around Young and Necrox, sort of pushing the site together as a duo, and then the rest of the team, Geo flexing around. Canadian used to sort of frag and try to IGL from there, and NVK was always sort of left in this sort of no man's land of can he get kills, can he not get kills, he needs to get kills kind of scenario. But I'm just waiting to see how they play differently now that these roster changes have been solidified.
And to be honest, we came in on paper, and some of these roster changes were rather shocking and even questionable at the time. Bringing in Hyper for Jarvis, although Hyper is an exceptionally talented player with amazing stats, he didn't play the same roles as Jarvis. So we were looking at Dark Zero and we're like, can they replicate the same success? Just because you bring in a player that has better stats doesn't mean he's necessarily the right fit for the team. And we were all disproven immediately wrong. Hyper has been absolutely instrumental towards this roster. And just as you stated, Modega coming in for NVK can potentially be extremely instrumental because it alleviates so much pressure that NVK had to put on his shoulders. And it can honestly change the tide of the game.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting on Young here. I don't know what the map bans were. Just for everybody tuning in here, just so everybody understands, this was done, very short notice. We are at a lack of production in terms of, seeing maps, seeing the bans, seeing, the players' faces and stuff like that. But we still are wanting to bring you all the matches that we can. That's why we have so many side streams for this event. There's a lot of talented teams playing, and everybody wants to watch their team dominate. And that's what we're all trying to bring you. Me, Sternab, Stokes, and Razor, all just, excuse me, trying to bring as many games to the forefront as possible. So I hope you guys enjoy it and don't get too bogged down with the, oh, why isn't there an overlay? Oh, where's the production? Oh, like that kind of stuff, because
Yeah.
we all just want everyone to enjoy these matches and everyone to see them as much as we do.
Yeah,
Um,
we're taking time out of our day. We are volunteering to do this. There is no production. We have no overlays. This is simply us trying to provide matches to everyone out there so we can all have a good time and enjoy it. Now, Young is in the lobby, ladies and gentlemen, so we're just going to be getting into this match here shortly. Now, heading on to console, it's going to be quite intriguing. Both these teams have an interesting record on it. I mean, you look at EG, and they were one of the original, like, I guess you could say, quote, founding fathers of how you played console. I mean, back when Pulse was in the meta with the quick swap, I mean, Canadian was absolutely lethal, but he's not on this roster anymore, and I'm quite intrigued because Dark Zero and EG haven't been playing a multitude of console lately, so it's interesting that one of them decided to take each other here.
it's, what I think that what it comes down to is I think that this is probably Dark Zero's pick personally. I can't imagine EG not trying to play Coastline or Villa. We
Yeah,
saw
that makes
how
more
well
sense.
EG played on Villa, particularly when Gotcha was playing in the roster as opposed to coach. That's another
Much
change too.
luminosity.
Gotcha is no longer the coach for EG. He is the coach for TSM, who we saw play yesterday versus Sonics, and TSM and FaZe Clan are actually playing on the main channel right now, so you guys should check that out too. If you're wondering when does Bolo play, well, I have the answer. It's on the main channel right now, and we're just waiting for the lobby to start. And okay, I think yeah, someone on EG is having issues. I think with their PC, um, is the word that I'm getting, but let's just delve into a few more things, Hunter. Anything that comes to your mind that you want to talk about before?
Yes. If you would like to know which games are going on right now, I will be pulling up which streams and who is playing on them. So that way, if you're like, hey, I want to watch this team and not this team, over on the main stream, TSM is playing FaZe Clan, twitch.tv/Rainbow6. The Liquid versus G2 game, that is being broadcasted by Sternab and Spartan. If you don't know who Spartan is, he's an ex Halo Pro player and is, well, currently trying to make it to Challenger League, but unfortunately just fell short. That is, again, over on Sternab's channel, twitch.tv/Sternab.
Yep. So if there's any matches that you guys
Just
want to
one
see
more.
besides this one, you will see it. But we will be live all day. We don't know who the other matches are we're playing yet. We have to wait until the results are finalized for the matches that we have currently, told you guys. But we are going to be getting into the match soon. And just tell me when it starts for you, because I'm making sure that the clean feed is working
Yeah,
properly for
with me.
me. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was like,
ladies and
that's
gentlemen,
that's the last
yesterday,
thing I want is to
unfortunately, I
be.
was ahead of
Yeah,
Rams yesterday,
it
and
started.
it
It
got
started
really
now for me.
chaotic.
Started for me
Oh,
now. Is that started for you
okay.
now too?
Not started for me.
Not
Let me
started for
refresh
you.
it.
What?
We
Production!
are, hold
What are you
on.
doing? Hey!
Come on. All right, NA production Omega lol. All right, we're good. I think getting into the startup band phase, right?
Yeah, sorry, I had to look at the invisible
All right, we're
production
good.
team behind me and give them a mean look.
Yeah,
Just be like, hey, what's going on here? But
and Ranger is also casting with Stokes for Reciprocity versus Space Station.
yeah.
So if you want to watch
So,
any of those matches, feel free to tune in. Support our fellow community casters. Now, Thermite being outright banned by Evil Geniuses, not a surprise right there. A lot of teams tend to either ban Thermite or Thatcher depending on comfortability, and CapCow being outright banned by Dark Zero is no surprise either. When it comes to ban phase, most likely going to integrate some kind of Intel operator with some kind of Intel/Plant Denial operator. So It's going to be either Echo, Valkyrie, Maestro, or the ideal pick. Sometimes we'll see an off ban, and Consulate's one of those maps where you don't have a designated ban phase. You have a ban phase based off the set strategy you have in mind, and not necessarily what operators are potent regarding the meta. Mirror being banned though, huh?
Yeah, we've been seeing this mirror ban. We saw it yesterday too from FaZe,
Yeah.
which could have just been like a meme ban for them considering the matchup they had. But we're gonna see how it affects Dark Zero and Evil Geniuses today. The Thermite ban coming out of EG, I actually do like the Thermite ban, especially if you're defending first. It throws the attackers off in the sense that if you do defend downstairs, which in my opinion is the easiest site to defend on this map, it just makes it that much harder because they can't focus so hard on getting the garage open, and then it brings up some questions. Should we get a hatch? We have the extra Hibana. We don't need all three Hibanas to get into the garage. We only need two. Do we open up another hatch? Do we try to get that extra level of map control? And it leaves a little bit more adaptability on the attacking side, but that can sometimes prove to be to their fault, deciding to do something like that. And we're actually going to see EG going lobby first. I do like going lobby first. It kind of throws people off in the sense that, you know, it's not the typically most defended site on this map. It's either usually upstairs or downstairs. Usually never the Archives Tellers. I'd be interested to see an Archives Tellers defense. I would assume, though, if we are going to see one, it would come out of Dark Zero. They've been known in the past to play unorthodox bomb sites, quote-unquote, that you could say. But I do, think that the way that they're setting up and the ops that they've selected are pretty standard on the side of EG. I'm a little, I'm surprised not to see a Zofia on the side of DZ, mainly because Zofia has been shown to be the most picked attacking operator with the least banned, on the least banned side of it. And NVK is going to be playing Doc over by Admin, trying to deny that control to Dark Zero, but it doesn't look like their push is focused over there. It looks like Nyx was just opening those windows for a late flank if somebody just so happens to find themselves in a position where they need to rotate around to gain that little bit of extra map control. To take control of Projector, most likely. BC right now just finding that Valcam, just knowing exactly where it is somehow. Probably had a drone and just saw the trajectory that it got thrown and was just able to figure out where it was and look for it. Geo is playing inside the circle desk, which is a precarious situation to be in if there's a lot of pressure being applied, but none seems to be being applied right now, so he should be able to rotate safely off of that, as Hot and Cold is going to be taking control of console and just most likely using a Hibana to open up that single panel wall in the connector to look directly through Projector, giving them that line of sight.
Yeah, so we're seeing some window play coming out here from Dark Zero. Unfortunately, they're not able to land any picks so far, so they're just going to have a little bit of a stall, drone their way out, and try and figure out where the best point of entry will be. See on the other side, Evil Geniuses trying to peek outside, get any picks they can, trying to get a man advantage, especially on lobby, can basically win the difference between winning and losing round. Simply because how the dynamics of lobby works is you don't really need certain, I guess you could say, utility other than smoke grenades. I would argue that is the most useful utility regarding trying to take this site. What it really comes down to is man advantage and going for reflex. That is probably the most crucial thing for lobby. Now, we're going to see Madiga residing by the yellow staircase, and he's going to be trying to catch anyone of Dark Zero off guard. I think Dark Zero is actually ran to his positioning, and they're going to try to default off of it and just make sure that he is not being in a position that can, not be refragged. So he's going to get spotted on out, and he's still going to play this position rather affirmatively, so...
NVK picking up the first kill onto Nyx. Outside the front door, it looks like, but another Dark Zero player is going to show up. Mint will take him out and trade it immediately, as it looks like Hyper's going to pick up another kill, and Young's going to take a little bit of damage from above. BC playing that vertical play well, trying to deny this location inside of the bathroom, just making sure that they have as much control of Piano as possible. Dark Zero definitely want to plant in Piano. You can tell just by the way that they're pushing a little bit. Mint's going to pick up another kill onto Young, and now they're actually taking full control of the circle lobby at the same time. That first smoke goes out, and Hyper's going to take down Mo. So now it's all up to Necrox in a 1v4 scenario. Can he find it? He can find one, but he can't find the other. Hyper going to trade it right back out, and Dark Zero looking strong in this first round.
Yes, you saw a little bit of a stall coming out from Dark Zero, but nevertheless, their final entry on the site was just an absolute onslaught and barrage of kills coming out. I mean, there was really no room to breathe coming out from Evil Geniuses. Just came pick after pick within a matter of 20 or 30 seconds, and there was really all downhill from there. Nevertheless, they're going to decide default off of the lobby. We're going to go back upstairs, typically considered the most favored bomb site out of the entire map. I do believe it has the highest pick rate and successfully played correctly and won.
Attackers need to
So
locate and defuse
yeah.
bombs.
Yeah, what I found most interesting about the Dark Zero attack in particular was we saw Mo was playing at the bottom of the yellow stairs. He obviously got droned out, and BC actually, opened up an angle in console to look exactly where Mo was trying to play initially before he located to the bottom of the yellow staircase. And that just goes to show like the intel gathering that Dark Zero has and the game knowledge that a lot of these players have since they've been playing for so long, that they can find those angles and know the exact counter angle particularly. But Dark Zero, like you said, they stalled out a little bit, but I think they were just taking their time. They knew that they had the control that they needed, and they knew they didn't have to rush anything. It's just because sometimes when you get into these scenarios where you think, oh, we need to push, we're all in position, why don't we push now? It all just comes down to making sure that they're, once again, crossing their T's and dotting their I's. This was something that I harped on a little bit during FaZe versus Supernova, because FaZe were so good at it, and we saw it yesterday, just how dominant they were when they took their time and when they sort of lured Supernova into scenarios that were favorable to them. And so I feel like Dark Zero is the same kind of team, or at least working to be the same kind of team. Now, spotting out the Maestro on yellow stairs, Hot and Cold's going to relay that information. Young is going to be trying to play this position, but he could potentially be killed from this upside-down rappel on yellow if he's not careful. BC just waiting to throw nades at him. If they can burn that ADS, it'll be, sort of lights out for Young. I don't really see him being able to rotate out of this position, given the fact that they know where he is and they're already setting up on the console windows. And if he's able to escape, it's going to be a big falter on the side of Dark Zero. Necrox trying to give him some support. One's on the bathroom window, one's on the yellow window. Here comes the one nade. One nade gets thrown. It doesn't quite catch him, but the ADS is burned. Another nade will be coming momentarily, as Dark Zero are just so focused on trying to get Young out of this position. More flashbangs coming in, just a whole massive amount of utility dump. And then a swing in from Hyper is going to take one down. He's going to get Necrox as well. He could if he looks to his right. Oh my gosh, he's so close. Nyx is going to pick up one. BC another. Necrox is going to trade it out onto Hyper. Looking up back at the skylight, but he can't quite get the kill onto BC. And VK now in a 1v4 scenario similar to what Necrox was in. He's going to try to retake control of yellow stairs. This is probably one of the sneakiest positions he could move himself into right now, but he doesn't know that there's one on the bathroom window still, and Nyx is going to finish it off. Dark Zero just looking too strong right now.
Wow, that was a really good execute from Dark Zero. You saw trying to position himself around the vicinity of yellow stairs, but ultimately it was up to no avail. I mean, Dark Zero burned that utility right on out, and they burned his body right on out. I mean, there was literally no room to breathe. You had flash grenades coming at you, grenades coming at you, and then two onslaughts of bullets just being barraged upon you.
I mean, you can.
And, wow.
Yeah, that was the big thing there is the utility dump. But if you're a team like Dark Zero and you see someone playing Maestro on the yellow stairs with an ADS, is that not the guy you're trying to get? You know what I mean? Like, is that not the operator that you're trying to get rid of? Like, obviously they want to take control of yellow stairs. Yellow stairs is a pivotal position when defending that site. But the fact that there was a Maestro playing there just makes it that much more like, hey, if we kill this guy, it's gonna make it that much easier for us to attack the site. And EG, knowing that, tried to help Young as best they could and try to alleviate that pressure and protect him, but Hyper, with that level of confidence and his excellent gun skill, is just going to swing in and just take him right down, knowing that with the utility dump, Young isn't going to be able to hear the rappel in, and he's most likely not going to be able to win the gunfight. Yes, Maestro's weapon has been called overpowered at times in the past, but it's only overpowered because of the magazine size and the amount of damage it does, not necessarily for its fire rate. So, just sending an operator in that has a higher fire rate weapon in a close quarter scenario is going to yield better results on the side of DZ, and it showed in that round.
Yeah, it's honestly quite intriguing they decided to place Maestro at the top of yellow stairs. Typically, if we're going to see any operator, it's going to be a Jaeger, or any operator with a shotgun that he can potentially sneak around a corner. And
Smoke is who I would say would be probably the most optimal operator. It's a similar position to Geo pick onto BC. That's big, but he's outside. Can he get back in? This is a big problem if he can't. And they're coming around the corner for him. Nyx takes him down from outside of Visa. But like I was saying, like it's a similar. The yellow stairs is a similar position to trying to defend server on bank, and the blue staircase. Now pivotal it is. Sometimes you'll see an Ella shotgun there. Sometimes you'll see a smoke there. It's it's the same sort of position, obviously attacked very differently, but it's still the same kind of thing. But Dark Zero are just taking control right now. Hyper up above by the long desk is just going to be trying to lock down any rotations utilizing those air jabs. Mo is going to be playing by the zigzag hallway. Here's one next to him. He could get wallbanged if he's not careful, but it doesn't seem like Dark Zero are aware of his positioning at the time. These Valcams giving position while NVK plays at the top of Spiral Staircase, going lower. And Mo's going to try to rotate up yellow stairs to see if he can catch any of the Dark Zero attackers off guard.
Yeah, now it's currently a 4-on-4 situation. Now with a minute and 20 seconds left, Dark Zero's going to start trying to plan their execute and find the best point of entry. Now, we're going to see the X-Kairos most likely try to get utilized on the main wall and not be utilized on the hatch. That's going to be Modega catching Nyx off guard. Ash goes down, and one more to follow. Can Modega follow it up? Some grenades will get thrown out upon his position, but he's decided to default off it and try and play his life rather than play the pick. Quite intriguing that that's coming from Modega of all players, who is notoriously known for trying to go for pick above trying to prioritize his life. So, saying that he's going to default off that spot is going to be quite intriguing. That's going to force Hyper to rotate, and right now it's not looking good. However, he's going to get spotted out, so now 40 seconds left, and he's in a rather precarious position. Simply because there's not a lot of time on the clock, there's not a lot of utility left for Dark Zero, and there's not a lot of time left to try and establish the execute. Hyper's going to try and go from the back, see if he can disrupt anything from here, but unfortunately it looks like it's a dire situation coming out from Dark Zero. I mean, yeah, 15 seconds left, all their positions are known, and it's not looking too good. They're going to try and sprint on into the side, but it's just going to be shooting a fish in a barrel at this point. MBK is able to land one on a hot and cold. It's able to peek around. That's the Nomad. Actually not getting caught off guard, but ultimately followed up by Necrox. And that's Evil Geniuses winning their first.
Yep, Evil Geniuses putting a round on the board. It looked good from them, and Modega, he goes for the pick up top, gets it. And then he does retreat back. Like you mentioned, Mo is known as a gunner. He's the one that's going to go against the grain a little bit and try to go for those kills. But it was very smart the way that he retreated. He got the pick, felt the pressure coming from, I believe it was Nyx. The flashbang started getting thrown, and Mo said, "Okay, I've gotten a pick. I've wasted utility. I'm gonna retreat now, and waste time further." Rotates to the bathroom. More of the drone economy gets expended trying to find him and locate his position. Unfortunately, the time management on the side of Dark Zero in that instance wasn't the best, but it was mainly due to the way that EG played that. We have seen in the past, teams will go up a couple rounds, and then the other team will immediately adapt and start coming back, and I feel like this is sort of one of those moments. We are going to see EG going back to the lobby, trying to correct the mistakes that they had the last time they were here. I think that the biggest thing was Mint at the front door last time. After they had gotten full control of console, they didn't even try to push into projector, which is odd. You usually see teams always wanting to take control of projector to get above the hatch in the main lobby, but we didn't see that out of them. What we did see was, full piano, what looked like piano control vertically, full console control, and then, just a front door assault. Mainly Mint getting those 2 picks when he was playing at the front door. So we're going to see how this push differs for Dark Zero coming into this 4th round.
They're going to try and include a Jackal right now to help him assist with trying to find any roamers that potentially fall upon his points. And knowing Dark Zero, they love to go for their roam clear, and they honestly love to pressure players into not necessarily a pincer. It's quite interesting the way they do it. What you typically see Dark Zero do is they have a convoluted amount of angles, and then they just basically cut off any possibility of them being able to move. Which is quite intriguing, because then you'll have either Nyx or some other entry fragment. Usually it's Hyper. This instance he's going to be playing Nomad, and they're just going to walk up Visa stairs, and he's going to catch MVK off guard. Look at this. It's not even a pincer on their roam game. It's just getting drawn out, not giving him much space to move because he couldn't go into admin because I was being watching the window. You have one person going up the stairs and he's dead. This is just the beauty of Dark Zero and their own individual playstyle. This is why they are so good. Fortunately, they weren't able to replicate some success they've had in the past at Raleigh, but, you know, it's always a chance at DreamHack, baby. I mean, they have been looking really strong, and hopefully they continue it.
Yeah, it's looking good for Dark Zero so far. They got the initial pick. There's a minute and a half left. They still have plenty of time, and BC's going to go for a nade right here, I would imagine, as long as the window's open. Yes, it is. He's going to cook it perfectly, maybe?
BC
no
nade.
damage.
Ooh.
Yeah, no damage done yet to Young, but they know where he is, and they're trying to get him out of that position close to the front door. Now focusing control above, it looks like Mint and Houghton are trying to get control. They are going to find some footprints from that hatch. And right now BC just opening that window next to him. They're just looking for more picks. They have less than a minute, and Young is now down and out. Focused down by Mint. Now most likely going to be looking for an execute. That is one of the denial ops gone, but Mo is just waiting patiently, but actually his patience did not pay off as he felt like he was compelled to move into Hyper's crosshairs, as Geo is now going to be rotating down the yellow staircase and actually decides to go towards Projector instead, knowing that the plant is going down. Has one mark, sees another, and the plant comes off, but BC is going to take him down. And DZ just looking spectacular so far in terms of like just the time that they take and the way that they progress through a round. It's not, you know, full speed ahead. It's not a slow crawl. It's somewhere in between with intermittent moments of like quick decision making that lead to their victories. And EG are just seeming kind of stagnant. It looks like they're just sort of standing around and waiting. There's not a lot of dynamic movement, and unfortunately for them, when they feel like they need to be dynamic, it's immediately punished by Dark Zero.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Zero has just really been convincing upon their pushes. I mean, even the round loss, unfortunately, that was just EG playing really well. Dark Zero has just been looking really, really good. Again, you talked about it. It's not so much as EG being pivotal and Dark Zero playing into that. It's Dark Zero's quick decision making, which is something we've seen a trait that core roster had for almost 4 years now. I mean, this has been one of the most consistent rosters all throughout NA and all throughout the world in general. So them coming in here, sticking their playstyle, doing really well, and not defaulting off certain points is honestly what we like to see, because we've seen Dark Zero at times just completely crumble under pressure, and it's good that it's not happening in this instance. Now, EG's going to decide to go back upstairs. Now, they previously defended this unsuccessfully, so they're trying to look to replicate some more success upon the yellow stairs. Now, we're going to see Necrox most likely going to position himself around the yellow stairs. I'd be really surprised if he doesn't this time around, just because, I mean, there was no room for Young to breathe last time. It was truly abysmal. I mean, he was just convoluted upon so many points, and BC's so famous for his frag grenades. I mean, it's definitely not something you want to go up against on top of just having an absolute onslaught of players barrage upon you. Now, getting into this, we've talked about BC quite a lot.
Yeah.
He used to play for Evil Geniuses. He was first well established as a, quote, fragger, in terms of his frag grenade usage, with Evil Geniuses. Now, do you think, he obviously has been on this roster for a while, do you think him coming over to Dark Zero can still integrate something that can benefit Dark Zero when going with Evil Geniuses?
It's hard to say, and we actually are going to see Mo on the yellow stairs, some of the utility being burned out, but he does have another ADS in his pocket, so this could be, you know, this could be the play, per se, where obviously we have to wait and see. The second ADS gets planted, and they know that they need to throw yet another flashbang in, and they will burn all of it. Necro's going to throw a smoke just to try to force anybody off the skylight, and Mo's actually going to rotate off the yellow stairs. Another flashbang coming in, and they're just waiting for that inevitable push. They're trying to read into the way that Dark Zero are pushing it. BC coming in with another nade, going to throw it straight through the door, and could get a double kill here, and it's going to get one and damage Necrox severely. He's going to have to back off now, as they should have control of yellow stairs if they can read into this properly. If they know that Jaeger's off, he's just going to barely miss those shots and take a bunch of damage from that smoke, as Necrox is going to push into yellow stairs and take down Hyper. Huge play from Necrox, but he has no more utility, and there's still a minute and a half left. So it's going to be up to Young for any plant denial, as an Ash Charge gets shot, and just trying to dislodge Necrox from this position. They don't want to throw another body at him for the trade potential, even though it might be the right choice. There is a drone right in front of him giving away his position, as BC is still peeking up from the top of yellow stairs, and they're going to have to figure out how to get him out of here or just move their push to another location completely, as NVK is now coming to support him. NVK could jump out that window right there and go for the propeller on yellow, or outside of console, excuse me. But that's a hit or miss scenario. That could mean a lot, and it could mean very little. Geo is going to be trying to provide as much intel and cover as possible for Necrox, as Necrox could potentially make a play, but BC is going to be pushing up and get taken down by Necrox, however, or excuse me, by NVK. However, Nyx is going to trade it back onto Necrox. Now they should have control of yellow stairs, and Nyx is actually in the bathroom. A few missed shots coming out from Young. This is a very strange position for Evil Geniuses to be in right now, because they've actually sort of forfeited control of console itself, and they could, and Hot and Cold could repel in and go for the plant, but he's opting not to. With 15 seconds left, I'm not sure why, but they have to go for something, as Mint's going to be pushing in from admin. Nyx looking for that player inside a connector, can't quite get it. Mint's going to trade it back onto Geo as Young picks up the kill. Hot and Cold gets another, and it's a 2v1 scenario now. NVK downstairs with a C4 in hand, just waiting ever so patiently. Is he going to get it? No, he won't! Mint's going to trade it right back out on the hatch. Oh my gosh, what a play from Mint. The heads up IGL with superior intel, knowing exactly what NVK is trying to do. What a round.
I really want to see the comms for that final take on the round.
Oh, what a round.
I really want to hear those comms. That is just the absolute, just pure professional game sense from Mint right there.
Absolutely.
And the rest of Dark Zero. You look at literally any other instance, like Challenger League and anything around that vicinity, people don't make those literally last second calls because it's such a gamble. But that is just the absolute, oh my god, that was just such a beautiful play. I mean, you really don't read into that most of the times. The fact that DZ's reading into that is just so beautiful, and that's honestly quite unfortunate for EG, as they're able to not pull that round out of their hat. I mean, you had Necrox come up the yellow stairs. He was able to put it back in their favor. I mean, he got one pick, then ultimately held the yellow stairs for the rest of time as they weren't able to take it. And then NVK doing his work downstairs, able to get one pick, make it a 3-on-2 scenario in their favor. However, they forfeited site control to do that. So unfortunately, it's all downhill from there, as weren't able to get any picks on site. And it looked like he was just going to be able to close it out with C4. However, no. Mint drops down and closes out the round.
Even though Dark Zero ended up winning that round, that was a much better round from EG. You have to think that after that round, they've got to start getting fired up. They've got to start, making something happen here. We're going to see NVK switching off of the dock and going for a Legion instead. I think that this is the right play, trying to slow down Dark Zero, especially when they are defending downstairs again, and the time management was Dark Zero's falter when attacking the site before. So they're trying to capitalize on that weakness in a sense, just trying to make sure that, they gain as much of an advantage off of a perceived weakness as possible. Let's see if Dark Zero will actually, push faster this time. It's, maybe they just thought that the first time they attacked Garage, it just didn't go the way they wanted based on a couple key factors. And I think that Hot and Cold positioning himself outside of the police line right now, just looking for anybody trying to rotate through Piano, is a good position. That's actually a very, that's sort of an off angle you wouldn't typically see an attacker holding immediately. You usually see them maybe head glitching the half wall, looking at the doorway, but that can catch a defender off guard, like Mo trying to rotate into Piano right now. If he knows that window's open, if he exposes himself to that spot, he has to be aware that something is happening over there. And we haven't seen much out of Mo yet. Yes, he has gotten a couple of kills here and there, but he's trying to adapt into EG's system. He's trying to become part of the team. He's not trying to be the superstar, because when you try to be a superstar in Pro League, you kind of usually get punished for it. And this is right here. He has to move now. Just Hot and Cold's positioning paying off dividends, as Mo lays down and could move, but he's scared of anybody trying to push up the yellow stairs at the moment. He knows that BC is potentially above him in console based on his team comms. Is now going to rotate into the bathroom and try to delay even more time, which is probably the most fortified position he can sit in at the moment to waste time. But is it going to be effective? They don't really need to take control of it. Yes, it is. NVK is actually going to pick up a kill onto onto Nyx, as Necrox picks up another onto BC. Hyper now on the spiral staircase could potentially trade this out, but will not. NVK coming up with the kill onto Hyper. And now Mint pushing up Visa stairs, Hot and Cold pushing up the circle desk. They're very separated at the moment. They could link up and try to trade each other out in a way to sort of even the man count, but it's not looking good for Dark Zero. However, Hot and Cold is going to pick up that kill onto NVK, trading him out. Mint pushing down Spiral now, just looking for Mo, who he perceives to be in the bathroom, and actually Hot and Cold is going to take down Mo. Hot and Cold now coming in big for his team, evening it up, but now has to open the hatches with a lack of a plan in the bag, so to speak, as all 3 hatches are getting opened up. Where are they actually going to push from? They have to consolidate in some way. Hot and Cold's going to drop down as Mint most likely pushes down Spiral at the same time. Mint slowly pushing up, but is potentially pincered at the moment, but reads into it perfectly. Geo getting taken out by Mint now in a 2v2 scenario. Hot and Cold and Mint very, very low, but Necrox is going to trade it back out onto Mint. And now, if Hot and Cold could have gotten that wallbang, that would have been huge, but he's so little health. Young is just going to finish him off, and EG winning another garage defense.
Yeah, honestly, that was a really good play coming out from both teams. I mean, you had NVK being so instrumental in the Legion, able to get 2 ever so crucial impact frags and ultimately stalling out 2 minutes and 10 seconds, which is ideally exactly what you're looking for on the roam game. Fortunately, had some picks come out against them. Mint just looking absolutely lethal in the IQ, and they were able to close it out, thankfully for them, and they're going to put another round on the board. And ideally, looking at a 4-2 split isn't what you're typically looking for on Consulate. I mean, it's not the end of the world simply because Consulate is so balanced. It is, of course, a possibility. However, overall, throughout those 6 rounds, I would definitely say Dark Zero looked a lot stronger than EG. So despite the fact that it is a 4-2 scoreline, individually and as a team, I would say DZ is looking stronger right now, specifically on this map. We could see a complete turnaround when Guardians see map number 2, and we could see a complete turnaround within these next set couple of rounds. We can see EG potentially just absolutely... What is this bomb site?
I told you the
wow.
The Archives Teller's bomb site. If we're gonna see a team do it, it's gonna be DZ. They are the ones. Right. They are the ones. Now, typically, the way that I've come to interpret this site is that keeping control of Yellow Stairs, or excuse me, not Yellow Stairs, I'm so sorry, Visa Stairs with a rotate hole into the site is pivotal, but we're going to see what Dark Zero have come to find in the way that they play it, because I'm sure that they're going to have something innovative to show us. If this defense works out, if this defense works for DZ, I'm gonna have to call it for EG. Like they're not winning this map if DZ can win this bomb site. It's a mental thing. It's a, there's just something about it. And EG have typically been known to sort of fall behind and not be able to come back at times. They're very good at keeping a lead and holding it, but when they're down and teams start throwing different strategies at them that they're not used to, it makes a big difference. But DZ right now just checking intel, looking to see where the push is coming from so they can most likely prepare for it as best they can. Hyper going to be playing on Mozzie, is going to be waiting and knowing that most likely the push is going to be coming from the garage. It's going to be, played out at the moment. Nick's just making sure nobody's pushing front door area, the top of Spiral. Pretty much, this is the play. This is what they want. This is this Visa Stairs control. And oh, what a shot from NVK, taken down Hot and Cold. Oh my goodness, that's the Maestro off the board. As now it looks like EG just want to clear out some utility. This Valve Cam is going to prove a lot, or going to provide a lot of intel, but Hyper's going to trade it back onto Geo. That is a big kill. Now just checking for more and more intel. Hyper right now going to be looking for a pre-fire, but Mo's going to come up instead with that engagement, showing up seemingly out of nowhere from the close hallway. BC now looking through the server racks, utilizing some of these off angles that we haven't seen because this isn't a typically defended site, and some more trades are coming out as Mint's going to get one onto, I believe that was NVK. Sorry, my stream is a little laggy at the moment.
That was indeed NVK, and it's going to be a 3-on-2 scenario with the mid-in 20. 11. They're just going to try and flash out, but it doesn't even matter. That's going to be Necrox picking up the pick. And he's going to go for a pre-fire behind the server rack. BC in a rather convoluted spot right now, and he's just panicking and trying to stay alive at this point. Most likely going to get flanked from the side right now. Will he read into it? He's going to read the fact that someone will be pushing him, but can he land the shots is the question. Can he push around the side and ultimately taken out? Young taking out BC.
Yeah, Dark Zero going for this play, and EG said, "Not today, not today, sir." Dark Zero faltering on that defense.
Attempt, though, honestly. I mean, it didn't look too shabby. I mean, unfortunately, just the Archives Teller's site is just so difficult to defend. I mean, we've seen one team, I think it's called Tactical Timeout, right?
Yeah, we're taking a tactical timeout here.
Okay, yeah.
I would assume that it's on the side of Dark Zero. Usually you don't see teams win a round and then, go for a timeout. I think Dark Zero right now would just, they went for something a little cheesy per se. I don't want to call it that, but they went for something, it didn't work, and BKN, who used to be the coach at EG right now the coach for Dark Zero, is probably like, he's like, hey guys, reel it back in. You gave it a shot. Just make sure that you choose a better bomb site and just focus up a little bit. Like, I know you're
Yeah,
probably
so
hyped off of
yeah.
some of those round wins that were so close, but just everybody tone it back down, keep your composure, and move forward into the next couple of rounds to make sure we can close out this map.
When I've spoken to people that have been around V-Game before, he's a really good person to have around as like a quote psychological coach. Like he's really there to like keep people going, motivated, basically keep their heads up in the most dire situations. And that's what people have said he's so good at doing. And
Right.
him coming into this Dark Zero roster when we have known them to crumble under pressure, I feel like it's just a perfect match. And he's just ever since he's joined this team, Dark Zero has just been elevated to such high standards. I mean, I believe before this season, or before the season where they got picked up by SK Gaming, and then after got picked up by Dark Zero, they actually were in relegations, which was the first time we've ever seen Flipside Tactics in relegations. And then they followed up by finishing a season 1 point off of going to Link. 1. Like, that is a huge transition, and that just surely shows how influential some of these players have been throughout this roster and throughout the entirety of it. Now, they're going to decide to go back downstairs to Garage, or defend it downstairs for the first time, as they have decided to go Archives first. And I would argue this is by far better bomb sites, and the way they're going to hold it does appear they're going to go for a bathroom hold, which typically was introduced by Lat AM rather in year 2. But we've seen a bit of a reinsurgence when it comes to how it's being played. Typically what teams on the side do is they'll just try and have bathroom being played as a focal point, not necessarily going for picks, but rather to burn as much time and utility as possible. And if you want to go for a pick, time it correctly, because if you get picked in turn, it can mean probably one of the worst scenarios to enthrall yourself within, and that is time. Time is such a huge factor on Garaged. It's not fun to push it with around 30 seconds left. Ideally, teams will try and shoot to push it a lot earlier than most bomb sites.
Yeah, that bathroom position is what I would classify as an off-site anchor position. They're pretty much going to be using that position to try and waste as much of EG's time and utility as possible before they can actually get to the objective itself. Hyper's going to be playing on the spiral staircase to support some of that, and Geo could haphazardly walk into that angle if he's not careful. Nyx is going to be playing in here with a shield and 2 ADSs and the hatch open. He wants to try to deny that intel to whether or not the hatch is open. That's what he wants to deny, so that they know if he can retreat or not. He wants to deny the intel that he can retreat or not to EG, so that they can decide if they want to pinch him or like just leave him be, so to speak, and anticipate his drop down the hatch when they push the site. But it looks like they're going to open up the back wall and try to force him out of that position. That's a really, really bad spot for Nyx to be in, but he is going to rotate back down and rotate over to the yellow stairs. The door is closed. This is typically not a spot you would see anybody sitting. The drone is going to spot him out and force him back towards the pipes area of the garage. He's going to rotate now back towards all the way back to the mini office, where we would see a Mira playing typically, and is going to help reconstruct the site to better fortify their defensive location. Hot and Cold still playing by the wall, trying to make sure that it stays closed and keeping a close eye on yellow stairs. That shotgun is very dangerous in that position. It does just so much damage. You don't even really need to land a headshot. Mo, was that Mo? Or no, that's Hyper playing underneath the lobby hatch. And MVK is now going to be holding his position and trying to look for any angles into the kitchen through the rotate hold that he can. Now going to bring over his drone. They need a little bit more information before they can push, apparently, even though there's only 35 seconds left. VC just waiting. Oh, could have gotten his head taken clean off there if that player at the top of VC stairs would have been just ready and waiting for him. Mo's going to be pushing down the staircase, going to pick up that first kill onto Hot and Cold. This could open up the site for them, as they know that the garage most likely is clear. However, they don't want to drop the hatch and just fall into someone ADSing straight at it like Nyx is doing right now. Young and Geo are going to collapse onto the site and take 2 down. BC going to take 2 back, though. Nyx now playing in the garage, looking at pipes, whiffs a little bit of his shots, and now in a 2v3 scenario with almost 0 seconds left. The plant has to go down. BC's going to take down 1. Can they stop the plant from going down? Where is the plant going down? It's by pipes. Now in a 1v1 scenario, Mo versus BC. This is huge, and Mo's going to pick up the final kill. Oh my gosh. What a fucking, excuse me, woo! What a great play by EG.
Wow. That was, you could have not had that come any closer. I mean, that was like a 1 second, the world was about to explode moment. I mean, oh my goodness gracious. Diffuser literally got down, and within, I want to say 0.4, 0.3 seconds after it got down, the planner died.
Oh my
that could not have been timed any better, and that is exactly what EG was looking for. I mean, you saw BC get a quad kill in that instance, but unfortunately not able to get the ace and not able to pick up the round. I mean, wow.
Those were two huge plays.
They're toying with my heart. I can't do that.
2 huge plays coming out from 2 very good players coming down into a 1v1 at the very end, and oh my goodness. I have to feel for BC there as like as a defensive anchor, getting all of those kills. Oh my goodness, it's heartbreaking to lose a round like that, but Mo coming in huge for his team there, clutching up that 1v1, and what a great heads-up play by Necrox to plant, finding a place to plant. That was the hardest thing, I think, in that entire scenario for EG, was where do I plant? Where am I going to plant? And Necrox just said, I'm planting pipes, and you guys are just going to have to deal with it. And Mo, the prophet as he has been proclaimed, just coming in super clutch for his team as they win that round.
I feel like if you got a graph basically showing where everyone planted the bomb, like majority of the time, like, you know, default corner, how many ever plants it has ever had in the Pro League. Guarantee you he's the only person within Pro League or LAN history to plant in that location. I mean, it's not something you commonly see, and it's not a place that you commonly position yourself within. So, they're able to get the plant down nonetheless, and they're able to close it out. However, I mean, what an absolute barn burner that was, as the Prophet is just able to come, make his way in, make his presence known, and get as many picks as he could to try and win out that round, and he does that.
Yeah, I still have that last round running through my head. That was huge. Absolutely insane. EG right now looking like they want to take control of Garage. And is this another Teller's Archives? They're trying Teller's Archives again. Okay.
Honestly, we've seen one team be successful at it, like continuously successful at it, and that's Vitality. Vitality has basically innovated this site to the point where it's actually in their site rotation, and I believe they have a 66% win rate on it. They've taken it 3 times, they've lost it once, and they've won it twice within their history. However, that's a lot higher than any other teams, because I think we've seen Chaos defend it once, but other than that, this is the only NA team to defend Archives, to my understanding. I have not seen it before. Maybe we have seen it in the past, but if any team's going to try it, let's reveal it's going to be Dark Zero.
Just as a quick little, like, fun fact, I want to call it, have you ever seen another site on a map at pro level where it requires so many wooden barricades?
I didn't even consider that. I mean,
this is the one site, as the game has evolved over the last 4 years, I think this is the one site that's still played like it's year 1, where you have to barricade up all the doors and all the windows.
Yeah.
Like it's the only site that does that. However, right now Dark Zero looking good. They got that initial pick, and on a bomb site like this, that's pivotal. If you get that initial pick on a bomb site like this, it's all about just wasting time and staying alive. Nyx, however, could get taken out from these windows right now if that player at Geo could have seen him through that door. Ooh, BC going for a pre-fire is going to take Young down to about half health, but EG are now just flooding into the site above as they've taken down Nyx. Young going for a plant. Mo now underneath, still challenging, making sure that nobody can C4 from below. Mo coming up with another kill. This is huge. Can he get a third? He knows that there's someone else in there. C4 did get thrown. It definitely didn't get thrown by Maestro. Now Hyper's going to have to come up big for his team, figuring out exactly where all the rest of the attackers are. Mint has no idea that he's actually safe. Gonna take out a drone now, rotating around. Hyper and Mint have to consolidate together and figure something out. A C4 gets thrown out, opening up the wall just a little bit. Doesn't quite see anybody though, just waiting for Mint to most likely come up. As Hyper will get one, gets traded out however immediately. And now Mint looking for another but can't, or excuse me, Mint looking for his first but can't quite get it. Necroc's gonna finish him off, and EG just looking like they're coming back strong. And this is a big problem for DZ right now.
Like how he just... You ever seen like one of those clips where they just dump an entire mag into a dead body? I feel like that was what the L85 was doing right there. He shot 2 bullets and wasn't able to pick up the kill, but flicks up upon Mint nonetheless, and EG has brought it back, baby. Oh my. I mean, it looked like an extremely steep mountain to climb, but nevertheless they do it. And we saw the adaptation come out from Dark Zero. What they decided to do was they placed a mute jammer on the wall that Hibana was Hibanaing, so that way they could get a more broader rotation when they wanted to peek around, and we saw BC peek around. He lit up the opposing attacker to around 20 HP ish, but unfortunately wasn't able to.
Need to locate and defuse
the mind games
fatally, and they just rotated out and just got the point down from there.
Yeah, EG looking to throw in some mind games a little bit. We saw the Tachanka, or excuse me, not Tachanka. Oh my gosh, it's so early in the morning. I apologize. I need to drink more coffee.
I need coffee. Coffee.
The Montaigne pick being, you know, sort of brought out there for a second, only to be changed back to an IQ. Didn't phase Dark Zero, but it's still the possibility. Like, Dark Zero have to be like, okay, maybe a Montaigne is coming up out of nowhere here in a bit. You know, it's like, these mind games this is all part of the game. And it's just, this match so far has been really exciting, actually. I honestly wasn't sure how Mo would stack up on EG, and I'm not saying I didn't have faith in the guy, because I know how good he is, you know, from playing with and against him in ranked and whatnot, but it's just like...
Mo's a different animal in ranked.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll just say it here first. You see funny tweets about, you know, like the DG stack, the Disrupt Gaming ranked stack. You see funny tweets about it, like, it's ranked isn't safe, oh no, ranked isn't safe. I beat them one time in ranked, and I was like, yo, I just beat the DG stack in ranked. I must be the best ever. Like, I felt so good about myself after that.
Dude, the DG stack and the SSG stack, man, those are two different animals.
Yeah, they definitely are. And as we're switching gears back into the map, we have EG defending, or excuse me, DZ defending upstairs, and EG just taking control of admin. Young gonna open up the long angle out of admin into projector and above the Visa stairs. This accomplishes a couple of different things, but Geo is gonna pick up a kill onto Mint. That's the smoke off the board. That's a huge pick, and Nyx is actually in a really, really bad spot, playing right next to that window and that doorway. If EG just rotates somebody onto the balcony, he's going to be forced to move out of that position, because there's no way he doesn't get droned out. However, Hot and Cold with a pre-placed C4 almost gets one, and then is going to pick up the kill onto NVK. A little bit of a distraction tactic there, since the C4 didn't actually catch anybody right away. Hot and Cold waiting for anybody to push through the
strategy with the shield of Dark Zero. It's just so intriguing to see, and that's going to be Geo picking things up on the... Whereas previously, I do believe he was going 2 and 8. Wasn't looking so good from him, but he's woken up. I mean, Sleepy Geos, teams like to call him, or players like to call him, as he has slept through multiple sprints, and he's not going to be doing that anymore. He's woken up, he's had his coffee, and he's going to be fragging out. So it's going to be 4-on-3 advantage in favor of GEG. I was about to say DG. Talking about Mo too much.
Well, Mo is going to be rotating downstairs, trying to, you know, open up some more picks for his team. Geo now has 2 on the board. He could come up these stairs and get Hot and Cold. Yes, he will. And then he's going to rotate his way into the site with another kill. What a flick from Mo. Oh my gosh. BC turning around, and now in a 2v1 scenario, this is the man you want in the 2v1 scenario, but unfortunately, Necrox is going to come out on top of that. EG just looking so much stronger now. They've fully adapted and are figuring out exactly what they need to do. I feel like what happened right there was Mo just got let off his leash. He's just on the leash, and, you know, Necrox is holding him back, like, on, just let me go at him, just as a rabid dog, and they just finally let him go, and he's just going off, just tearing DZ to pieces now on map point for Consulate.
I just straight up hog champed IRL. Dude, Mo is just such a mechanically gifted player. you cannot undermine him for this. Like, hey, you can say like, oh yeah, I know he's never been in pro league. Why would they bring him on to EG? It's because he is freaking insane.
It's because
It's
he's
he's
good.
just
It's because he's a
it's
gunner.
'cause
All
he's
right.
a gunner, bro. Okay, you ever going against the DG stack? You don't mess with those guys. No, I mean truly, he's just truly an instrumental player. I mean, Tame was able to clear out the connector. I mean, he opened up the site for them at that point, but didn't really matter. I mean, BC was just caught out of such a precarious standpoint, and we've seen an absolute just turnaround from this roster. They seem revitalized, and they look like they've got new blood within them, man. My oh my, EG had just come back from like we talk about this hill they had to climb just because they weren't looking so good. It wasn't they only had to bring back 2 rounds, but it just all the rounds they lost just looks so heavily in the favor of Dark Zero. But when we've seen this swip around towards the attacking side, it's just been the complete opposite way. I mean, this is just look like EG all the way, and it looks like EG. I don't know. It just looks like they've fallen asleep.
Yeah, you could say in the first few rounds, you know, like EG was down, they were losing a couple of rounds, and you know, it was all just they were just biding their time. Geo was just sitting there like, don't worry guys, the gamer supplements are gonna kick in soon. We're gonna take them down. You know, like it's not a big deal. We don't have to worry about anything.
Drones up and running.
So you know that just right now, EG looking great. DZ have to pick themselves up by the bootstraps and just try to come back from this. They're defending downstairs again. This is where they should be able to at least take back another round here. Nyx once again playing inside of the bathroom. In my opinion, if they're gonna win another defensive site, it's gonna be this one. Like their Archives Tellers isn't working. Actually, I don't think any of their defenses are really working at the moment.
No, they haven't won a single defense.
Yeah, they haven't won a single defensive round, and now, you know, they're going to have to figure out which one they can win to at least have a chance of taking it into overtime. Because this isn't looking good for them. EG are just, their attacks are just on point. Mo isn't missing his shots, and the rest of the team is just picking up the slack here and there. Oh, and he's actually going to get taken down, but from where? Where did he get down from? Oh, a nade coming out, and a C4 going to get traded back. Oh my goodness. NVK wallbanging him as he decided to fall down the hatch. Great play from NVK, but he's not going to be able to secure the kill at the moment. And a C4 did get thrown through the Hibana, I imagine, to try to, you know, get the trade back. Another nade coming out now, just trying to finish off that kill if possible, but not going to happen. NVK looking through the floor, going to open up and reconstruct vertically to try and give them any kind of angles, catch any of the Dark Zero players off guard that might be staring at a different hole that NVK has placed in the floor. As more of the site is going to get opened up eventually by Young, there's less than a minute left now, and EG are in a great position with full map control, and as you can see, the Dark Zero defenders are scampering around the site, trying to avoid getting taken down, and the wall will get opened up. That Electric Claw was just a little bit too late, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, no, they've got a lot of pickup right here. They're just going piece by piece and and it's going to be EG. Just have the Onslaught being barraged on site within the next 10 seconds or so. I mean, a 5-on-5, 25 seconds left on the clock. This is going to be an absolute barn burner again, ladies and gentlemen. EG's going to waltz on the site. Nyx picks up one onto Geo, not before he gets refragged, though. That's going to be Mundiga coming in. NVK follows up with one. That's Mint gone. BC. That would be BC being down on the other side of the 3-on-3 scenario. Plant not going down yet. You see Nyx on the flank. Isn't going to be able to get the kill. He's going to be able to down one.
No.
C4 goes down, but he gets taken down, ladies and gentlemen. It's all up to Hyper. Hyper gets the clock from map number 1. Fuser will be going down. Can he secure?
He can do it. Hyper can do it.
Can he get it? 1v1. Hyper picking around the corner with the pistol. Getting a lot of shots. No! Necrox wins it out. Evil Genius wins round number 11, and they will take map number 1.
Yeah, EG coming in huge there, and DZ fighting back right there, but they just couldn't win a defense. That's what it came down to. DZ could not win a defense. EG just, when they got on attack, they just said, all right, guys, let's crank up the volume, and just went in. Like, EG just looked way too good there. Necrox with 13, actually. I didn't realize he got so many frags that game. I thought Mo had 20. I thought Mo had 20.
Dude, what a match. Like, That was probably one of the best showings of Consulate I have seen in a very long time, since I would say
Oh
Six
yeah,
Invitational.
that was great.
That was toying with my heart. It truly was.
I just
I
loved.
mean,
I
those
just
rounds were so close, man, and we
yeah.
just saw this strategy brought up these two teams, and it was just so innovative.
The timing on a lot of those frags on both sides, I thought was immaculate. Like especially like if I have to highlight it, if I have to highlight a specific play other than you know Mo getting a ton of kills, which is honestly like it's yeah he's getting a ton of kills, but it's definitely Mint dropping down the hatch to kill NVK in that
Oh
last
yeah,
second plant when he was about to throw the C4. Like that was that I think that was
that was pretty
the
nice.
best play of that map, even though DZ lost, but they're not out. They only lost the first map. They can still come back. And we're going to find out
It's
soon what the next map is. Did you see it before? I wasn't even
Dude,
looking at the screen.
I have no idea what the maps were. Like, I literally woke up 10 minutes before this match started. Rams calls me up. It's like, hey, we got a cast, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, we got to do this.
oh,
We got to do this thing that we sometimes do. I don't know if
yeah.
you're like aware
I
or
mean, like,
not.
yeah, but like, do
Whew.
I wake up or like?
Yeah, I gotta drink
Wait.
some of my gamer supplements right now.
Why did you have to say that?
I'm not
Drink
gonna
my
I'm not
gamer
gonna brand
supplements.
anything. I'm not gonna say a
I'm
brand.
gonna drink my Bella Delphine bathwater real quick. Hold on. All
Right.
right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are just tuning into the live stream, Evil Geniuses just beat Dark Zero on map number 1 by a score of 7-4. If you are just tuning in, we just saw probably one of the best showings of Consulate I have seen in a while. If you have not seen that match, I would highly recommend, highly, you go back in the VOD and just see just the absolute barrage that we saw on that map. I mean, oh my god. There was I'm speechless right now.
Oh yeah,
I'm speechless.
that was good.
It was such a good showing from both teams, and unfortunately, Dark Zero isn't able to pull it out. But we will be heading on to Clubhouse, where Dark Zero, I would say, is a lot stronger on. I
This
do think
is
Clubhouse is probably one of their best maps.
this is the map that Dark Zero kind of fell apart on though against
That is
Fours.
true.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
this is the map that Fours literally if you looked from the spectator perspective above during the Raleigh Major, there's one point in the match where all of Fours are huddled, like four of the defenders are all huddled in like two different rooms really close to each other, and Dark Zero are all standing outside on a balcony, like, all right, are we gonna push or what? And then they just kind of sit there for 30 seconds, and like then they start pushing in, and Fours kill all of them, and you're just kind of like, okay, I guess the strat was to just sit and wait. And so we're just going to see how Dark Zero have improved on Clubhouse since the Raleigh Major. I'm sure that they've, obviously gone back and worked on some things. We did see how much, what I would consider how much better they've gotten since the major already, just based on that map alone
Oh yeah.
and the match that they played yesterday. Who did they play yesterday?
They played. You're talking about EG or Dark
No,
Zero?
DZ, Dark
DZ
Zero.
played. I have no idea. I actually don't know. Who did they
Yeah,
play yesterday?
well, they won, and so did EG, so that's why they're both
Yeah,
here.
I
But
know.
you know,
EG played Livid, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, okay.
They played Livid on Bank. I didn't see the first map because we were casting the FaZe Clan match, and they beat him by a score of 7-3. As for Dark Zero, I have no idea.
Well,
Not the slightest clue.
either way.
Oh no, they played Father's Back on the mainstream.
Oh yeah, okay.
They played Father's Back on the mainstream, and they won by a score of 7-2 and 7-1. I remember them.
Yeah. So, pretty much now, Dark Zero going back to Clubhouse. Are they going to have some flashbacks of the Raleigh Major like we just discussed? And
I mean,
EG's.
Forza beat a lot of teams on Clubhouse, though. I mean, they beat FaZe Clan, and FaZe Clan's strongest map right now, as of now, is Clubhouse, and they beat FaZe Clan on. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
I
you
just want to
can't
see. I
like
just want to
base
see
off of
more.
one match.
I just want to see more of Mo going off.
just
Like,
we
just
just
let
want to see
Mo.
Mo
Just
go
let
off.
Mo
I mean,
go. Let him go.
who cares
Just,
about Dark Zero? Who cares about the rest?
yeah.
I mean, just let Mo off the leash, baby. We want to see some.
I want to see. I want to see some intelligent plays out of, Mint again. I want to see some big frags by Hyper. Hyper seemed pretty quiet on that last map. Do you think that he's gonna
Did.
have to pop off? Like, is he gonna have to answer back? Is it gonna be the Hyper versus Mo show instead of Dark Zero
Jesus.
versus EG? Like,
The
is that what we
DG.
is that what Dark Zero is gonna have to do to counter this, or do you think that they can just stick to their game plan and like sort of bring like real Hyper back in and just have him play a role as opposed to just being like Hyper, just go at him?
Dude, it's gonna be a former DG showdown at that point. You got hype. You got them all coming out of barraging. I mean, you look at this, okay? It's quite intriguing. So Hyper originally got noticed when he was playing for DG against Evil Geniuses. Do you remember that? It was a DreamHack Austin where they 2-0'd Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, I do remember
And
that. They had Yaga on their team, and
yep.
they just brought a lot of unorthodox stuff to the table on Oregon, which is no longer in the map pool, thank goodness, because like I didn't think it was a bad map, but its time has passed. Like
Oh yeah.
they needed to remove that map. It was too predictable. It was the same thing over and over and over again. And you saw every team do it, and then there became the meme of like Oregon is where good teams go to lose.
Oh yeah.
That's one of those
It's
instances.
true though.
EG wants to go to Oregon, and they get they got smacked. Let's be real here. They got smacked on Oregon by the Disrupt Gaming that Bolo coached with Hyper and Yaga, and
Bolo
I think it was
coaching.
Dot Dash, right? Was on that team too.
Oh shoot, it's been so long.
It's been a
I want to
while, but
say
either way, we've come a long way since then, and
it's almost, was that 2 years ago, or is that a year and a half ish?
yeah,
I'll say something rather. It's been a very long time, and since then, that roster has gone on to have a multitude of players playing in Pro League and Challenge. I mean,
yeah. It's I
there's
know
it's such a talented they have.
we also didn't see a lot out of MVK other than like a couple of rounds. Obviously I think Mo like sort of stole the show a little bit there, but EG as a whole played great there. There was such a dynamic shift between like the first few rounds of defense for them where they, like I said, they seemed kind of stagnant, not really moving around, and then all of a sudden on attack everything changed like the drop
Yeah.
of a hat.
The thing was though, like Necrox also was extremely instrumental. I mean, he was able to pick up some frags, get the impact, actually close it out. I think Mo on the other side of things.
Sorry, you cut out for a second. Say it again. Hunter, you there? Hello? Oh, my stream is lagging.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. My stream was lagging there for a second, but I'm back now.
Yeah, so I was basically talking about how Mo decided to position himself within rather questionable standpoints, and he basically won gunfights that he wasn't supposed to win. I mean, you saw the instance where he just walked on into meeting and just flicked on the guy in connector, and there was no intel on that. He just, kind of felt himself right there. He wanted to go and get the kill, and he's able to get it, and that's just because he's such a talented player. I mean, you look at him versus Necrox. Necrox was getting his frags by positioning himself in strong standpoints and just basically landing his shots. Versus Mo was you're streaming offline.
It did?
Yep, completely crashed.